Hello everyone. So today we will discuss about the system databases. System databases is one of the most important part of the SQL Server. Every DBAs have to know, every beginners have to know. So let's start. System database have the 5 databases. This is a server I have connected, and let's expand the databases. So these are the database we can able to see. It is a user database which we create. Any user have been created, that's called the user database. And here is the system databases. If we expand this, here we can able to see the 4 databases. What is this? Master, model, Msdb, Tempdb. And another one database is there, resource database. So resource database is hidden. We can able to see in the SQL Server. We will see later. We will discuss one by one. So these system databases, whenever any SQL Server has been created, by default, these 5 databases are created by default. Okay, so we will discuss one by one. First, master databases. Master databases, when we start our SQL Server, master database will come online first. This is a brain of the SQL Server. Without this master database, the SQL Server can't be live. It will be die. So master database, basically it contains all the SQL Server level settings and configurations. So masters known other system databases, like means it contains the other systems data files and log file of the databases. Master database also known as the user data file data locations and the log file locations. So if we expand the master database, let's expand once. Here we can able to see it contain all the login information and the password information in the security. If you can expand the tables, here we can able to the system databases. If any tables have been created in the user databases, by default it come into the master databases. Then in the views, let's expand the view, the system views. Let's see the information. These are all the informations, login information, password information have been stored. Let me expand this one. Let me go forward a little bit. So here we can able to see the synonyms, programmability, security. This is everything is captured by the master databases. We can able to see all the metadata information contained by the SQL Server, which is contained in the master database. Master database, it contains the link server, store procedures. Then and one most important thing, if master database is corrupted, then SQL Server cannot start properly. So why the question it become, why is it important for the DBA or the master databases? So every database which you create is first registered in the master database. Let me minimize this one. We will discuss about some important interview questions about the master databases. So here, what are the things we have discussed over here? Model database, path containing the master database, information, metadata, everything. Now, the interview questions here is, can we create tables in the master database? Yes, we can create the tables in the master database, but it is not recommended to create any tables in the master databases because it affect on overall efficiency in performance. Next question is, master DB is corrupted. Will the SQL Server start? Which we have discussed earlier. No. If master database is corrupted, then we can't able to start the SQL Server. Next question, is it possible to restore my master database from prod to non-prod? So if this kind of questions will come in the interview, so you have to reply that yes, technically we can, but recommended to never restore master DB from prod to non-prod unless it is a high requirement, like requirement for the full server cloning or disaster recovery setting. So these are the things which we which is related with the master database. So if you want to check what are the databases are there in the SQL Server, so here we need to run some commands like select name from sys.database databases. Let's run this. So look, these are the databases contained in this server. Select name from sys.databases. If you give this command, then we can able to see what are the databases are there. This master, model, MSDB, these are all the system databases. Whatever the databases we have created, these are called the user databases. So this is a master databases. Next we come, let's minimize, model databases. So what is model databases? Model databases, whenever any user has been created any databases. Okay, so when we create a user databases, it inherits the properties of model databases. Whatever the properties are present inside the model databases, it automatically captured in the user database. So suppose in the model database, let me minimize a few first. Sorry. So in the model databases, if you see the properties here in the general, whatever the things give, we can able to see over here. If you create a new database, automatically all the properties are inherited into the new user databases. Like in the file, suppose here is 64. If we convert into, if you just change into, not convert, sorry, 128 MB. Okay, click over here. Okay. So let's create a new databases. Create database. Is already there. Alliance. Database has been created. Now database refresh. So here Alliance, a new database has been created. Let's see whether it contains the properties of in the files 128. So whatever the changes, if we have done any changes in the model database, automatically it will get fetched in the new databases you created. So model DB helps to create the new databases, and whatever the new DB we have created, it takes a copy of the model databases. So next, what does model databases store? Basically, what interview questions like this, what does model databases store? So it contains the default recovery model, full size and auto growth settings, then collation types, then compatibility, any objects you manually create a table, procedure, etc. These are all contained in the model databases. Expand it, model databases. Let's discuss a few interview questions on the model databases. Interview question, what happened if the model databases got corrupted? What happens if the model databases got corrupted? So we basically cannot create a new databases because SQL Server use a model as a template. So this type of question will come in an interview related to the model databases. Now the next, third most important system databases is the Msdb. Msdb is the third most important databases of the system databases in the SQL Server. So Msdb is mainly responsible for automation, scheduling, backup and history, backup jobs. These are the things are basically taken by the Msdb. So what Msdb store? Msdb stores are few things like SQL Server agent job. Here, whatever the things in the SQL Server agents, whatever the jobs we can able to see in the job monitoring, these are all taken care by the Msdb. This scheduling, job activity monitor, if you can able to see here, these are all taken care by the Msdb. Okay, so backup and backup history, if you've taken any backup, so when that backup has been taken, what are the times? If you give any command, we can able to see, then select star from Msdb dbo dot backup set. Msdb backup set. Okay. Start from Msdb dbo backup set. Backup, I think. Okay, now it will take. So these are all the backup histories and restored histories we can able to see over here. So these are all things are taken care of by the Msdb. Okay, maintenance plan, here we can able to see the management in the management maintenance plan, the database mail. These are all, everything are taken care by the Msdb. So Msdb is most important. Let's come Msdb. Third most important, backup history, backup jobs. So this is the question: what happened if MSDB got corrupted? So answer is SQL Server. Whatever the things is taken care of by the MSDB backup and history, SQL Server agent jobs, maintenance plan, database mail. These are all got stopped. These are all not going to work. Okay, so the next question, this is one of the most important interview question. Then the next question: can you restore and refresh MSDB from prod to non-prod? Basically, yes, MSDB can be restored, but since it stores SQL agent jobs like backup history, restoring it may override existing automations. So DBA usually what we have done means what we generally do, we will take the script out and we will keep from we will means restore into the non-prod from prod to non-prod by scripting method we are taking. So now the next important is coming Tempdb. Tempdb is a system database used to store temporary objects. Here we can able to see the Tempdb. This is the least important database in the system is Tempdb. It is recreated every time when the SQL Server restart. So when Tempdb is very important, means why they generally Tempdb is very important. So it directly affect the performance. Means whenever if we create anything, means whatever the things these have been created, and these are all the means outputs are gone stored in the temporary temp database. So it directly affect performance, and heavy usage. If heavy usage gone, then it creates a blockings, then disk latency impact queries, then poor configuration causes contaminations. These are the things happen when Tempdb got stuck. So common Tempdb issue is Tempdb full. So disk size is full, then we just check the log files and we will remove the vacant the space in the log file. So Tempdb won't store the data permanently. So there is one question: what happens if Tempdb is deleted? There is an interview question. It's why is Tempdb? There is a one interview question that by what happens if Tempdb is deleted? So it automatically recreated when SQL Server start. But if the Tempdb is deleted, then it can't it can't inherit from the model database, and it's not means the master database can't be start. So this is the features of the Tempdb. Now the ResourceDB. ResourceDB is a very important databases. It is usually means it is used for the patching, for apply the patching. We check the build number. Okay, so the resource database is a DB which we can't able to see, but it's present physically inside the SQL Server. Okay, so if you want to see the path, we have the command of all the path files. Like there is a command. Let's run over here. Select star from sys dot is alt file. So here it's this one. So here is a file. Whatever the databases we have discussed, master, model, MSDB, Tempdb, resource, these are all physically present inside our window in the SQL Server. So here is a path. If you have taken all the log file and data file and their growth status, everything we can able to see. So let's minimize this one first. I'm just trying to open the log file. I need to remove over this here data. So here our user database and the log database and the system databases, all the physically these are present over here. Inside program file, Microsoft SQL Server, then MS SQL 16, MS SQL Server, MS SQL, then data. So here is log file and the data file. Okay, so how can we understand this? Which one is a log file, which one is a data file? By if it's showing the table wise, then this is a data file. If it's showing the page, there is a log file. Okay, So here we can't able to see the resource database. What is a resource database basically used? Whenever the database stored in the master, whenever any kind of data is stored in the master database, logically, some databases, same databases are stored physically in the resource databases. Where we can able to see the resource databases? MS SQL, bin. So here, Microsoft what have done, they have separated these two resource databases from the all four system databases for patching purpose. So it is responsible for the patching because it's showing the build number. So that's for the today. So if you like the videos, so if you want to give some advice or suggestion, if I have done some mistake, so please comment me. And thank you everyone. Thank you so much.